Norm, here are the plans on the Duffy residence. And what we have here is the existing floor plan, and the area to be remodeled is the area within the dotted lines.
Okay.
And now you see the complete area to be remodeled as depicted with the post-shade walls.
Well, that's clever. You've actually taken the outside walls of the house along this corner and just pushed them out to make a very large space. How does it look from the outside? There we go. So this is looking at the house from the garage area. This would be the door going into the kitchen. And this are new windows and doors that you've added in the dining room area. And this would be the north elevation, the existing porch, and then, of course, windows of the nook, and this would be right in front of the kitchen countertop. It looks great. Now, could I go back and look at that floor plan, because there's something I saw right away. This nook looks kind of tight. Too bad we could get a better look of how that might feel.
Well, you're really in luck. I'd like to introduce you to David Munson from HOK.
Hey, David. Now, what do you do for HOK?
HOK is one of the largest architects in the country, and my job is to build synthetic environments in the computer. It gives us the ability to explore a lot of design possibilities before we actually build the project.
For instance, give me an example.
Oh, hospital rooms, laboratories, courtrooms. They tend to be repetitive, very expensive spaces. Makes a lot of sense to build them in the computer first, look at everything in the computer, and then make your final decision, and then go ahead and build the project.
That sounds like an expensive process, though.
It can be. Computer animation like the one right here, it could run $30,000.
Wow.
But on a large laboratory, the cost of a multi-million-dollar laboratory, it's a pretty minor cost.
Well, show us what you've made for us.
Okay. Basically what I've done is I've taken John's drawings, and you can see the site plan here. Of course, there's a house sitting up there in the corner.
Okay.
We've designed in a little flight path that'll actually take us down right along the route, or along the road.
So you're going to bring us right up the driveway.
Yeah. Now this three-dimensional model is actually made out of John's two-dimensional blueprints.
Really?
Took all of his elevations, scanned them into the computer, pasted them into the right position.
By the way, that porch was removed earlier today.
Really?
That's good. So you can spin us all the way around the house. We can look at every single elevation.
We can go anywhere within the model. Now, I'd like to stop the computer here. This is the wall where the kitchen is going to be. So here's the existing condition. Now we tell the computer, grow out of the ground the new design.
Wow, look at that.
Now you can see that the roof line on the new part lines up with the old part.
You've wrapped it right around the building, and these are the windows we were looking at on the elevations.
Yes. Here's the new double doors coming in from the garage.
And that's recessed. You can clearly see those are recessed.
Now within this model, we built another model that looks very realistic.
Wow, look at that. That looks like we're walking into an actual room.
But this is a computer-generated synthetic room.
Really? Now, how about the details that I'm seeing in here? The colors of the countertop and any of the cabinets that are in there. Is that just a general idea? Or
No, this is pretty close to John's drawings. John sent me all the details. We built all of the moldings, placed the light fixtures in exactly the right location, all the way down to the color of the cabinets.
And you've actually even gone through the trouble of showing how this light is actually going to reflect. I mean, you can see what this might be like when it's completely finished.
Right. We even have under-counter lighting.
That's great. So now we're looking back at that nook, right?
Now as we come up here, we're going to tilt the view down, and you can actually see the width of the nook.
Yeah, okay.
Now remember the detail of the ceiling. There's the vaulted ceiling with the outlet box for the hanging light.
So you've even shown the moldings. There's the column. Wow. Even the fixtures, you've included the faucets. Every single detail is included.
Yeah. Now the faucets are pretty generic. These are not the final faucets. We actually have faucets like this in our laboratory division. We just yanked them out and stuck them in here.
Wait a minute, what's this? A This Old House book on the counter?
Well, it's not a Yankee Workshop book. I'm sorry about that. Now, that was a predetermined flight path.
Okay.
What I'd like to show you now is something that's a little bit more difficult to do, but we're actually going to do a live walkthrough. Let's close that window. change the video output. There we go.
So now, in this format, you can walk me anywhere I want to go in that room?
If the mouse moves to the left, I'm moving the cursor to the left,
Mm-hmm.
we'll actually turn our head to the left.
Well, can you bring me down towards the back door and start heading into
Sure.
that nook as if I was walking into
Sure.
it?
Let's turn over a little bit further so we can see the doors.
Okay.
And then by pushing the left mouse button, we'll actually walk forward.
Now, John, there's a column at the corner there. That's, is that necessary?
Well, that's the column that's holding up the second floor, and that's the one of concern, which we talked about on the plans. And this really shows the problem, and it is indeed a problem.
So that column has to be there, and what appears to me to be a problem right away is that this opening is a little bit narrow, and you've got this double layer countertop, which I guess if I was sitting in that space, I would feel a little confined when I want to really be in the open.
Well, that countertop is about a little less than 4 feet, so you definitely would have a confined feeling.
Okay. Now, is there a way that we can take a look at this space from directly above it?
Sure. We can just fly right over there.
So we can go right up to the ceiling level and look down.
Yeah. Let's go to there, and now let's look down.
Wow, that's amazing.
So you can see the space behind the chairs.
Yeah, it's kind of tight. Now, how big is this table, John?
It's about 30 inches in diameter.
So it's not a table that really 4 people are going to be able to sit at and eat comfortably anyway.
It's going to be very tight.
And by, as you pointed out, David, it's so close to that wall that getting around these chairs might be a little difficult.
Now, one thing I noticed when I was building it, the way the counter works in with the window frame, you can see that in order to carry that width over, it has to be cut back as we get to the window frame itself.
Okay. Now, can we spin around and look at that column again?
Sure.
So it seems to me that the whole reason this nook appears to be tight is because you need that column there to carry the second floor walls of the house, the existing second floor walls.
That's correct.
Well, it's too bad that we couldn't find a way to solve that problem. I guess it's an engineering problem more than anything else.
Yes, I'd really like to talk to an engineer about the possibility of seeing what we could do about it.
Because if we could get rid of that column, we could get rid of that notch in the counter and make the room bigger. Well, this has been a great help, David. I've never seen anything quite like this. It's so realistic that it really gives me a good sense of what's happening here, and it gives me some ideas. I'm sure John ideas as how to solve the problem. Have you ordered one of these for your office, John?
Well, I'm working on that. Right now, I'm trying to do a little exchange with some very good Napa Valley wine, but we seem to be a few bottles apart right now. in price.
Well, you'll have to work on that a little bit harder. David, I really want to thank you for this. This was great.